Russian President Vladimir Putin gave the order to drive the Ukrainian Armed Forces out of the Kursk region at any cost by January the 20th. This was stated on air by Kirill Sazonov, a serviceman of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and political scientist, on the air of Novosti.Live. When asked about the situation in the Kursk direction, he noted, "We heard this from political scientists. We understand this ourselves, and the president spoke about this, that Putin gave the order to his men to drive us out of the Kursk region at any cost by January the 20th. And they are working on this very actively, but we are holding our positions." According to Sazonov, assaults on Ukrainian Armed Forces positions continue almost constantly. There are areas here where the entire landing is actually simply filled with enemy corpses, and new waves, small groups, are constantly breaking through, but they are stopped, he said. The serviceman said that the enemy was trying to storm, including using buggies. However, of the 11 vehicles that were moving towards the Ukrainian positions, 6 were destroyed immediately and another 5 were making their way to their own at night. Sazonov noted that separate units were being transferred to Kursk region even from such an important direction from the enemy as Pokrovsko. Troops were also being transferred from the Toretsk and Zaporozhye directions. According to him, the enemy does not have enough resources and forces to work everywhere. Therefore, while their maximum forces are being pulled to Kursk region, Ukrainian servicemen from other brigades are not wasting time in other directions. Sazonov also noted that the enemy's tactics in Kursk region are the same as in Donetsk region. They are blowing Kursk region to smithereens. Here, a lunar landscape is already beginning to emerge, he said. Earlier, a CNN report noted that Ukrainian forces are fighting to hold onto Russia's Kursk region, repelling continuous Russian attacks. Fighting on this section of the front is reaching peak intensity. In addition, the Russians have stepped up their assaults. Ukrainian troops are clashing with Russian paratroopers, Chechens, and African mercenaries. Earlier, BBC journalists reported that they had spoken to several military personnel who are participating in the Kursk operation. In particular, the military personnel reported that they were ordered to hold Russian territory until Donald Trump came to power in order to then exchange it for something.
Russian occupiers have begun to strengthen the defense of the Crimean Bridge, which connects the temporarily occupied peninsula with the Russian Federation. Additional air defense towers are being built next to it, the Center for Journalistic Research reports. Journalists reported that the first towers discovered near the bridge consist of 2 parts, a transforming tower with a ladder and a metal frame. The combat modules of the Panzer S-1M air defense missile and gun system are located on their tops. Earlier it was reported that the third tower was being built to accommodate air defense near the bridge. So, Russians strengthened the security of the Kerch Bridge, deploying 5 to 6 ships and boats of the border service of the FSB in Rashvardia, equipped with anti-aircraft artillery installations, large-caliber machine guns, anti-sabotage grenade launchers, and Vir missile systems. On the Black Sea side, the Kerch Strait is blocked by boom barriers up to the shipping span of the bridge, where a tugboat is on duty for operational closure of the passage. On the side of the Sea of Azov, the construction of a parallel structure with spacious platforms, probably for the installation of air defense systems, continues along the bridge. In November 2024, the interior of the tower was recorded, which was installed approximately in the area of the 10th span from the bridge arch. According to journalists, 30 similar transforming towers were previously noticed at the construction site near the bridge on the Kerch side. It is noted that the first 2 towers with Panzer S-1M were spotted at the end of September 2024. It is assumed that they appeared in the middle of the same month. Journalists emphasized that the first 2 structures are installed on the shores of the island, and the third is most likely based on parallel bridges with a lattice, which the Russians have been building for 6 months on both sides. They can simultaneously become anti-drone protection for the supports and a platform for placing air defense towers. Soldiers of the Ukrainian Special Operation Forces have entered Russian Army's position, capturing 12 Russian servicemen and killing 17 others. Operators of 73 Marine centers and 6 Ranger regiments destroyed 17 Russian soldiers and captured 12 others during a raid on the adversary's positions in Kursk region. Since early October, Russia has stepped up attacks in its Kursk region, where Ukrainian troops launched a large-scale incursion in August. Russia aims to recapture the border region before U.S. President election Donald Trump's inauguration in January to have an upper hand in negotiation table. Ukraine is losing ground in the region, with Russian troops recapturing around 40% of lost land. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky earlier said that Russia's President Vladimir Putin is to push Ukrainian troops out of the area by January 20 next year.